Within the admin settings, customer fields, we can control which fields are used throughout the website and business hub for customer profiles. So, first of all, we need to know things from a customer like what's their name, what's their email address, what's their billing location. So we can add our fields here, and if they're grayed out, they're on by default and you can't really edit them. But if you add additional fields or some of these fields by default, you can control if it's available to all stores or only specific stores, and also how the field works. So if we add a new field, and maybe we want to know what's the tax ID. Now this may not apply to everybody because you're assuming that it's a business or an organization. And we wouldn't use a drop-down for a tax ID in this case. I would use a text field like all these others. It's a small field for the customer to give us a line of information. If it's a text area, it's more like, hey, give us a paragraph about the business. If it's a drop-down, it's going to be select an option. Checkbox, you're authenticating, yes, I've agreed to something like the refund policy or the terms and conditions. Radio buttons is, here's a list of options, select one of the following. Multiple select allows the customer to select multiple options at once. After you have created a new field, or if you want to control the existing fields, come over here to Define Field Usage, where you will see all of the fields listed here on the far left, and then when that field is going to be used, listed up top. So when the customer is checking out on a website, the billing step, the shipping step, is it when they're registering or they're creating a new store? Is it when they're requesting a quote, or we are creating a new quote, or we're converting a quote to an order, or within the company, we're creating the billing or shipping details. So we can control if something is visible. So this tax ID, maybe we don't want it on during the billing or the shipping step, but we do want it on when a customer registers their new profile. So we can control, again, when something is available or shown, and then if it requires an answer. It's very common to come into this request a quote, and maybe you want to simplify the request a quote tool on your website. Some licensees, users of DecoNetwork software, feel it's too many questions for a customer for just submitting a quote request. Really, when somebody's submitting a quote, I need to know what is your first name, your last name, and your email. I don't have to have a billing address in order to be able to complete it. So I can uncheck and not require all these fields. But just because I've not required it doesn't mean that I've totally simplified it. So in addition, I'm actually going to hide all of these billing details, but I do want to let the customer give me their phone number and let me know what company they're associated with. But now they're not going to see as many fields, and they're going to see it as less daunting and easier to fill out. All right, so you can see with these customer fields are going to allow us to gather additional information from the customer, but don't confuse it that you really want to be using it for specific orders. While these fields can be tied to orders, it's really tied to that customer's account. So as we add these fields within the customer's account details or the company's account details, you're going to start to see these populate here. But it's only if it has been turned on and it's on for that specific site. So in my tax ID example, I did not turn it on for all sites. I could just turn it on for specific ones, or again, control when it's being used. Hopefully you find this video helpful, and thank you for watching.